Hey there, traders. Let's take a look at the trades that we went through, or at least I went into today. And I'll tell you why I stopped and I passed on the Euro New Zealand trade. And I did take the Euro odd trade and that Great Britain JPY trade. I was looking for a breakout. It didn't materialize, and that's how it goes. Let's start off first off with the trade that I am currently still in and probably held to 4 o'clock. It's the Euro odd trade. The Euro odd trade, you can see that this pair broke down out of its really tight range. I mean, ridiculously tight range that it held through most Asian and European trading between 145.60 and 146, so a 60 pip range. And the problem when you have super tight ranges, which we're having is a contraction of ranges right now, is you need a move in one direction or the other, or you have too many clusters of support levels close to each other, and that makes it difficult when you're jumping in and out of trades, at least in this breakout style, because you have too many levels of support that the pair will come down onto and hit. And when it hits those levels, I have a tendency to be hesitant about jumping into those trades because you could get reversals like we had in the Great Britain odd today when it hit the level. We stayed out of that trade, and that was because of that. Let's give you an example. In the Euro odd today, I mean, we did have a clear break right here at 615 from the Asian range, but I mean right there we have the low from the previous day at 145.31. So you can't really jump into a trade when you can see that that's going to obviously be a point that people are going to be paying interest to. So we get into the trade, or I get into the trade at 145.17, and you can see that level was significant because the pair did bounce up and down between this 145.17 and 145 level before initially popping lower. I think that was at like 10:15, 10:30. I don't know why it's not moving down for me. 10:30 until kind of bouncing back. But now we can watch that the trade is still on. I think the first half I closed out -7. We can watch to see that this level right here should probably act as support resistance now, and see if we get another push lower. It's hard to tell in these thin markets what's going to happen, but we'll keep that in mind, and I will hold that trade until the New York close, or if we get a cross here to shut things out there. Let's take a look at the other trade that I passed on. The Euro New Zealand, which is basically the same. I mean, it's a Euro cross, but it's with the New Zealand pairs, and these pairs have been tricky for me lately. And you can see that we did get a clear break, but the problem with this trade is that the break was so pronounced. By the time we get the entry at 165.50, you can see that just 18 pips lower we have the range from yesterday. So I had to hold once again, or I chose to hold again once again. And then by the time we get a break of that range, we've already gone 100 and let's say 165, about 170 pips. And the average range in the Euro New Zealand right now is let's see, I have it here, is 172 pips. So I was hesitant to jump into that trade ahead of that, knowing that we could easily get a reversal at that point. And actually it looks like I made the right decision. I mean, if we went into that trade, we would have chopped along and had the first half closed out for a loss, and then we'd still be riding it right now. And the last trade that I flirted with today was the Great Britain JPY, and sometimes things just don't go your way. You can see that the pair had broken higher and reversed in after the data that came out, the Bank of England minutes, and it didn't get really any follow through from that. And we can see that the pair then drifted back down lower and just kind of consolidated. I could have obviously gone in right there, but I didn't like the candle. It's obviously going negative, and then we had reinforcement of that at 5. And then with the break higher, normally you want to see a break of the peak for the day, and that's exactly what we did have here at 9:30. And we did have a break of the range. If we look on a 4-hour chart, you can see that basically, let's just say the 150 level had been a pretty tricky. 152.50. Let me get back here. 150 had been a pretty tricky level last week, but you can say this 152.35 level had been a pretty tricky point for the pair, and it looked like we were going to get a break higher. We were up on the 152.50 level, and now we're coming back down lower. Now, interestingly, on a 4-hour close, when this is about to close right here, right now, that's a pretty ugly candle, and it would be very similar to that candle right there. Or let's find another one. basically just we have sellers coming in at this level, which could lead to a definite push, a push back down lower towards the 150, 150 level. If you wanted to take that as a not a scalp, a swing trade, but I mean the risk reward isn't all that great because it has definite support right there at 150, 150. So keep that in mind. All right, those are the trades that I took today. Obviously, I passed on some of them. Passed on some of them because we didn't have any action in them, such as the Great Britain, New Zealand. It's just sat in a range, sat in a range, and Great Britain odd just sat in a range. And if you want to take a bigger scope of some of the bigger pictures, the Aussie, as I've said, is still trending down, or we're still making lower lows, and now we just need a push back down lower. So I wouldn't look for a quick reversal on that. New Zealand, we have this resistance zone, and we can see that the pair has been trying to break through that, but we could see this could be an opportunity to scalp back down lower. And we both know that the pound has just been ranging between this 155.7, 154.30. Nothing to do there. Don't even look at it or hurt your eyes. And the euro, we have it back below this ascending trend line, so let's see what happens there. All right, everybody, good luck trading. Let's make some pips, get some action going this week. It's been beginning to get the itch.